I pull and extend my legs. And this kind of makes it to where if a guy is flexible, he doesn't have the range of motion that he used to. What are some other setups to get the Kimura from bottom? So let's say I'm here. Now, one of the problems that a lot of people like the Kimura, but they can't really get it from full guard. So here's some ways that I like to get it from full guard. So everybody's different, but originally when you learn Kimuras, it's you clear their hands and their hands are on the ground, and you set up, and then you Kimura. Then the guy gets pretty good where either you clear his hands and he just put his hands back, or you can't move his hands, or you cleared his hands on the floor, but you grab his thigh when you go, so there's no, like you have trouble getting it. So here's some ways that I've been able to get it. Normally you gotta shove your hips down real hard, so I can't get his hands off. I will grip like this on the side of his hand, like I'm grabbing his hand like this, and I'm gonna open my legs and reach over, and there's like a little knot on your elbow, and I'm gonna try to grip it. So I grip that, and I push and pull his arm through. See that? I'm pushing and pulling his arm through. When I get this far, I lean over and I get the Kimura grip. Okay, so we're sitting here, we're fighting. I grip up and I reach over. I like to uncross my feet sometimes so I can get that angle, but sometimes I can just grip and pull and then scoot up and get it. And I'm just yanking and pulling my arms in. When I get this grip, I flex my hands, and I'll start working the Kimura. Now, we'll go over if they grab the side in a minute, but I want to show like a detail that I learned like when I really first started. So when I first did Jiu-Jitsu, there were no football players and track stars and wrestlers in Jiu-Jitsu. There wasn't like major athletes. So you didn't always have the big strong guy. You always had like the skinny flexible dude. Like we had a bunch of lanky flexible guys. So when you'd Kimura somebody, you'd have these people and you're like, come on man, is your arm broken? They're like, no man, we've been playing Magic the Gathering all day and stretching, and my arms are just like that. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like, I'm on the swing team and I'm a mathlete and I play Dungeons and Dragons and a stretch all day. I'm like, shoot, man. So I also played Dungeons and Dragons, so I knew their strategies a little bit. You know, they couldn't get in my head. So we had to deal with flexibility a lot. So one of the things that I was taught is this top leg, I'm squeezing my knees, I hold this elbow in, but I pull and extend my legs. And this kind of makes it to where if a guy is flexible, he doesn't have the range of motion that he used to. So I extend, keep that extension, then turn, okay? And then who's got a flexible shoulder? You got, which arm is your good arm, your flexible arm? So watch this, you'll see two variations, okay? And sometimes, watch this, I'll do it the way people do it. So you'll notice a couple problems with what I did. First, I want to have his elbow touching my chest. This looks like it wouldn't matter, but watch. I'm not going to have it touch my chest, and I'm not going to extend my legs. Look at his shoulder range of motion. Right, maybe there. You see that? Now watch. I probably moved his arm from here to there, right? See how much distance that is to Kimura him. Now watch. I'm going to keep his elbow in, and I'm going to extend. And here's that part. You see that difference? I moved it like a ½ inch versus this full range of motion. This pulls his arm out, and then you're going to Kimura. So I just assume guys are flexible. I'm still slow on the Kimura, but I assume they're flexible because they can't take the pressure if you pull it out that way. So the other thing is if a guy grabs the inside of his thigh, there's a couple ways to break the grip. The one I like is this. I take this hand and I shove it through, and then I lock my hands like this, see? So I'm going for the Kimura. He grabs his thigh. I shove this hand in, and I grip up like this. elbow's kind of on the back of his shoulder, and this is kind of near his bicep, and I hold. And what I do is, some people think I'm just kind of trying to put pressure on his arm and make it hurt. I'm holding this tight. I'm gonna pull his elbow out and hand out this way. That pulls his arm out. If I just shove this into his body, it doesn't help. I'm pulling this out this way. I'll hold 1, 2, and then I'll re-grip up, and I'll lock it up. Sometimes, if I catch this on my shoulder, I can weirdly Kimura, or this goes up on top. I transition and I'll hit like a straight arm bar. But normally I go whoop, whoop, boop, boop, okay? And it doesn't work if you don't make those noises, okay? Go, 1, 2, 3.